the generation standing there hearing his words. Not some future generation far, 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 far away. All right? So, what am I doing? I'm trying to get across to everybody. Do you understand? You are reading history. That's what you're reading. They are giving a historical account of what Jesus Christ is doing. And what is Jesus Christ doing? He is coming, founding the New Testament, and he is bringing to the end the Old. That's what it's all about, folks. Not some future terrible time. Not something that hasn't happened yet. Not something that's going to take place in the future. Next, here's Jesus' words. Watch what he says to those people. There be some standing here which shall not taste death till they the Son of Man coming in the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Now what's this? The high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God that thou tellest whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus said to the high priest, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Who did he say it to? That's right. He didn't say that to you. Next one. But when they persecuted you, disciples in this city, flee ye to another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall have not gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. Next one. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall well behold him. Now look, guys. Darby wants you to believe that what John is writing about here in Revelation 1:7, he wants you to believe that there's this bodily appearing of Jesus Christ comes, and everybody in the whole world will be able to see his body. Would you put the globe up there for a minute? Does everybody see the globe? Do you know how impossible it is for everybody on the face of the earth? See that little body right there? If that was the body of the Lord, it would equal, he would be 500 miles off of the ground, and he would be 500 miles tall. And that's just that right there. And I think Jesus was only 5'7". How is anybody on this side of the world going to see that, even if he was 500 miles tall? Hello? 500 miles tall. That's how big it would be. How is everybody on the earth going to see that? And he's got to be 500 miles tall, so he's not even a real body. I mean, Shaq isn't even that big. That is it's just physically not possible. But that's what we've been taught. See, that's what Darby wants you to see. That John is talking about that, behold, he's coming. And guess what? It says with clouds. Would you go back up one? Everybody say with clouds. With clouds. Not in clouds. Why do you suppose the Bible always talks about clouds when it talks about the coming of the Lord? Why do you suppose it does that? Because they had an Old Testament. And they used the language of the Old Testament to speak about what they wanted to proclaim to the people they were doing. They were using Old Testament words. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go through the scriptures to talk about him coming in clouds. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and there shall be tribes of the earth shall mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming with clouds of heaven and with power and great glory. Now, notice that's just about like Revelations 1:7, isn't it? Okay? Matthew 26:64. Jesus said unto him, that's the high priest, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Mark 14:62. Jesus said unto him, I am, and ye shall they asked him, "Are you the Christ?" He said, "I am. And you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven." Now, this one right here in Matthew 26:64 and Mark 14:62, Jesus is talking to the high priest. The high priest is demanding. He said, "Tell us if you're the Christ or not." And he says, "I am, and let me tell you how much I am." And what he does, he quotes this, "You shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven." He is quoting to him an Old Testament scripture. And the high priest knows what he's talking about. Look what he's quoting, Daniel. This is what he's quoting to him. Daniel 7:13. "I saw a night vision. Behold, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and said, it brought him near unto him, and there was given unto him dominion and glory and kingdom, that all people and nations and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom which shall not be destroyed." Now look right here. When he says the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, that is what he's talking to the high priest about. The high priest says, "Are you the Christ?" He says, "I am." Let me tell you, you are going to see the Son of Man sitting on the place of power, and you're going to see him come in the clouds of heaven. What do you suppose the high priest understood he was saying? He was telling him he was the Messiah, first of all. Second of all, he was telling him he was that Son of Man that David or Daniel talked about. So he's telling him not only is he the Messiah, that he had come to set up the kingdom, his dominion, his everlasting dominion shall not pass away, and his kingdom that shall not be destroyed. He's telling them about he's setting up the everlasting kingdom, and he's telling them that judgment would fall on everyone that rejected him. Look at, I need somebody to get me Matthew 26:65 through 68. I want somebody to stand with me. Just stand there, and I'm going to quit here. I want you to read that for me, because I want you to see how mad the high priest gets when Jesus quotes Daniel chapter 7 to him. Watch what the high priest does. Read.
Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, "He has spoken blasphemy."
He spoke in blasphemy. He's made himself Messiah, and he said he's coming to set up a kingdom.
What further need have we?
What do we need to listen for anymore?
Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, "He is guilty of death." Then did they spit on in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palm of their hands, saying, "Prophesy unto us, thou Christ, who is he that smote me?"
Now, you know what they're doing? They're making fun of him because they're looking for a physical kingdom.
That's right.
Smack! Tell us who hit you. If you're the Messiah, spat. They're upset at him because he's made himself the Messiah, made himself coming. See, when you talk about clouds, and I'm going to quit here. When you talk about clouds, we're not talking about puffy white things that go across the sky. What we're talking about is the judgment of God. Clouds always have to do with the judgment of God, not puffy white things. He comes, everybody say, with clouds, not in clouds.